What I learned from America's debt crisis.
No! No! No!
As America's debt crisis loomed this summer, most Americans hoped the two political parties would work together for the good of the nation. It didn't happen. But despite the pain and ugliness of this spectacle, I have been able to extract a few concrete lessons. Here are my top 8. Number 8. When facing tough compromises, I now first always ask, what would the Tea Party do in my situation? Sure, I know exactly what they'd do. No compromising. Don't give an inch. Pretty empowering stuff. I mean, look at just their logos. They're organized into brigades and militias, and check out that badass snake sprouting out of what looks like either Florida or one of their peni. Heck, Native Americans with guns are even on their side. But then, my next thought always terrifies me. What would happen if my opponents were thinking just like the Tea Party too? Number 7. You know, everyone's beating up on poor Barack for getting out-negotiated by the Republicans, but let's acknowledge he gave it the old college try. Unfortunately, it was more of a Harvard football try, and the results so far pretty much reflect that. Number 6. This summer I learned a new meaning for cut, cap, and balance. Previously I thought it was just a new yoga pose for unemployed recent college graduates. Cut, cap, and balance. Happily, the Republican version of the pose is far easier to master. Number 5. I learned not all tea parties are the same. Some can even feature hundreds of Mad Hatters. Number 4. Never tax a friendship. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel taught me this when his buddy the president came to town for his 50th birthday. Tickets to the event cost $36,000 per person. It seemed everyone was there. Jennifer Hudson, Herbie Hancock, Mayor Emanuel, everyone except a city tax collector. I guess Rahm felt the city's 9% amusement tax shouldn't apply on the president's birthday. Or maybe the party just wasn't that amusing. Number 3. Washington, D.C. is known to have more than a few capital gangs around. But these were all trumped recently by the Gang of Six. But like most D.C. street gangs, this one has yet to produce any value to society. However, they do sport some pretty killer nicknames. There's Senator Dick Durbin, known on the street as Double D, and Mark the Dean Warner, and Tom Coolburn Colburn. Saxby Chambliss is the acknowledged hottie of this boy band, and Kent Conrad goes by an honorary North Dakota Sioux name. And don't forget the gang's big jokester, Senator Mike Crapo. All right, now on to number 2, as in doo-doo. Trickle-down economics can work. This is an old Republican mantra, but I find some truth in their advertising. After all, they are delivering on that trickle. But of greater concern for most people in this economy is just trying to get out of this mess alive. And finally, the number one most important thing I've learned from America's debt crisis? It's called the reverse Robin Hood, and it works like this. When taxes on the rich fall and stay low, eventually the rest of us will feel the blunt end, somewhere very sensitive. But both parties are at fault. The Democrats and the president have already returned to other priorities. Meanwhile, the Republicans are still trying to turn back the clock with the same old disproven rhetoric. Who knows, we may even see some old and familiar faces in the very near future. So that's what I've learned from America's debt crisis. To simplify, the rich really hate giving money to the government, but I found they'll happily hand it directly to politicians. So maybe our best chance to get the rich to pay their fair share is to tax their political donations.